Japan had a problem. One of their islands, Amami-Oshima Island, had become overrun with snakes, but not just any snake. It was the highly venomous and deadly habu snake. The snakes were all over Amami-Oshima Island and were ruining people's lives, with hundreds being bitten every single month. In the best cases, this would cause nausea, vomiting, and hypertension. But sadly, many of those bitten did not survive, and for a long time, there was no antidote for habu snake venom. Eventually, one was created, but the bitten person still had to somehow get to the medicine. The antidote could only be stored at high-tech medical centers, which were nowhere near the rural areas where these bites normally happened. It seemed like the situation was hopeless, with many people abandoning the island due to fear of being bitten by a habu snake. Japan knew that if they wanted to save Amami-Oshima Island, they would have to do something drastic. Which is when one scientist had a crazy idea: flood the island with an animal that eats snakes and is immune to their venom. The scientists thought about many animals before finally deciding on their snake killer, the big bad mongoose. The Japanese authorities brought many onto Amami-Oshima Island, hoping that they would wipe out the habu snake, as well as the rats, which were also plaguing the island. But there was a problem. Mongooses are not native to Japan, instead being found in countries like India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, and Bhutan, countries with a very different wildlife to Japan. It didn't take long before Amami-Oshima Island was overrun with mongooses. The mongoose population went from 30 to over 10,000, all while doing nothing to solve the issue of habu snakes. Japanese scientists were shocked when the mongooses had no interest in hunting these snakes. At a first glance, this seemed like the perfect snake killer. Mongooses are famous for hunting cobras, which are cousins of habu snakes. Mongooses also have special acetylcholine receptors, making them unaffected by habu snake venom. Due to their evolution, mongooses know how to kill snakes, so you can see why they thought the mongoose would be the perfect habu snake killer. But they made one massive oversight. Mongooses are awake and active during the day, while habu snakes are nocturnal and only come out at night, meaning that these two animals almost never crossed paths. But even when their timings did line up, they still did not try to hunt the habu snakes. Amami-Oshima Island had many small animals on it, so the mongooses simply went for easier prey like mice or rabbits. Why risk getting bitten by a habu snake when you could easily eat a bunch of rabbits? That's exactly what the mongooses thought, making them completely useless. So now Japan had an island overrun with snakes and mongooses, leading to Japan trying to reduce the mongoose population. So far, they've captured around 35,000 mongooses. That may sound harsh, but as I said earlier, Japanese wildlife was not prepared for these mongooses. And before long, the mongooses began hunting endangered animals on Amami-Oshima Island, nearly wiping out Amami rabbits and other animals indigenous to the island. The mongooses actually harmed 15 species, bringing 2 of those near the point of extinction. But while this was happening, snake bites on Amami-Oshima were going down, no thanks to mongooses, but to humans. People began taking things into their own hands, setting up many traps for these snakes, and antidotes became much more common, bringing down fatal snake bites significantly. Today, Amami-Oshima is no longer overrun by mongooses, although habu snakes and rats are still prevalent on the island. But Amami-Oshima is not the only island infested with a deadly animal. This is Coco's Island, also known as Spider Island. Coco's Island is found off the coast of Guam in the Pacific Ocean. It is notorious for being overrun with yellow sac spiders. These spiders create webs all over the island, giving it a very creepy appearance. Coco's Island is so densely populated with spiders that they appear in nearly every tree, bush, and plant on the island. There is not 1 inch of this island without spiders. People who have gone here report seeing spiders nearly everywhere they look, with thick spider webs covering many of the island surfaces. It would be impossible to count the exact number of spiders on the island, but we do know it's in the millions. The main spider on Coco's Island, the yellow sac spider, is incredibly venomous. Their bites cause immense pain as well as redness and swelling, and even necrosis, where your skin rots away, which is why some call yellow sac spiders zombie spiders. If a bite is especially bad, it can even take your life. Cocos Island has a population of 593 people who know to stay well away from these yellow sac spiders. However, visitors are often bitten. There is no antidote for yellow sac spider venom, and even if there was, it would be hard to bring it to such a remote place. But an even scarier island is Ramri Island. Ramri Island is found off the coast of Myanmar and is notorious for one of the most chilling events of World War II. During World War II, Ramri Island had been occupied by Japanese forces. Due to its location, Ramri Island was very strategically important, leading to an offensive by British troops to try and recapture the island. As the British forces began their assault, around 1,000 Japanese soldiers fled into the swamps of Ramri Island, thinking they would provide a safe escape route. What they didn't know was these swamps were infested with crocodiles. Over several days and nights, hundreds of Japanese soldiers were eaten by these crocodiles, with only a few emerging alive. Since then, the crocodile population on Ramri Island has only increased, with these massive animals now totally overrunning the entire island. The crocodiles are saltwater crocodiles, which are the largest living reptile on Earth, growing 23 feet in length and weighing more than 2,200 pounds, which is why anyone who goes to this island today likely won't make it out alive. But an even more dangerous island is Reunion Island, better known as Shark Island. Reunion Island is a French island in the Indian Ocean. Despite its small population, it has shark fatalities every year. The bizarre thing is these shark attacks began in the early 2010s, especially starting from 2011 onwards. This has left scientists very confused, as it seems something about Reunion Island is attracting these sharks and making them attack. For example, in 2013, it accounted for more than 16% of all global fatal shark attacks, despite being a tiny island. The two sharks that plague the island are bull sharks and tiger sharks. The reason for these shark attacks is unexplained. In 2013, Reunion Island banned swimming and surfing, and these bans remain in place today. Controversially, the island has also begun hunting sharks, trying to kill the sharks before the sharks kill them. The shark infestation has massively impacted Reunion Island, damaging fishing and tourism on the island. Some people choose to ignore the bans, for example, Kim Maruli. On May 9, 2019, he and 3 friends had gone surfing, ignoring the ban, and within less than 1 hour, Kim was eaten by sharks. But an even more deadly island is Snake Island. Officially known as Ilha da Queimada Grande, this small island can be found off the coast of Brazil. It's infamous for being home to the highest concentration of venomous snakes in the world. The entire island is infested with deadly venomous snakes, most notably the golden lancehead viper, a snake species found nowhere else on Earth. The golden lancehead viper is one of the most venomous snakes in the world, and they are found on every corner of Snake Island. Due to how dangerous the island is, it's illegal to go here. But some people have snuck onto the island before. Over the years, there have been various deaths on the island. Most recently, a fisherman unwittingly went onto the island, not knowing what it was. He wanted to pick a banana from a tree he'd spotted, but while doing this, was bitten, and sadly passed away. But an island just as dangerous is Monkey Island. It may surprise you to learn that in South Carolina, there is an island filled with deadly monkeys. The monkeys themselves are not dangerous, but rather the diseases they carry. In the 1970s and 80s, researchers gave monkeys various infectious diseases. They wanted to find out the potential effects on humans and possibly find a cure. After giving these monkeys various deadly diseases, they were moved to Morgan Island, a small uninhabited island in South Carolina. It's illegal to go to this island, as you could get infected by the monkeys and then bring diseases back to other people. There's something very eerie about an abandoned island filled with diseased monkeys. Another island infested with animals is Crab Island, officially known as Christmas Island. This Australian island is found in the Indian Ocean. Millions of these small red crabs inhabit the island, sometimes covering the entire ground. During migration between October and December, up to 50 million crabs leave their burrows, spreading all over the island, understandably creeping out many locals. Just imagine stepping outside and seeing a sea of millions of red crabs. The crabs also enter people's cars and homes and even climb onto people. It's dangerous to walk or drive, and roads are normally shut down, causing havoc to the entire island. The crab's presence also brings in insect swarms, causing massive clouds of flies and mosquitoes all around the island. Another island infested with animals is Aoshima Island in Japan. It's better known as Cat Island, infamous for its cat population that far outnumbers humans on the island. Many cat lovers go here, but some find the island creepy and unsettling, especially as there are so many more cats than humans. All of these cats are feral and sometimes do fight at night. They also often scratch tourists, as the cats get hungry. That's because there are so many cats and not enough food to go around. The feral cats on the island also carry many diseases and infections, which can sometimes be passed on to humans.